when we were first talking about doing this video and getting you to kind of join the fellowship on the call, you messaged me on LinkedIn and you were asking me about like, what do I need to prepare? Like, do I need specific documents? Do I need specific questions that I need to do? So I'm just like, before we jump into the experience, I'm just curious, like, what was going through your head when you asked those questions? And like, when you hear apply for a fellowship, what does that make you think of? Like, what do you think that process is like?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, initially I was thinking about it in the more traditional fellowship application of here's a website, here's a link to a fellowship, here are all the different questions that you need to fill out, whatever word or character limits that each of these questions have, your documents you need to attach, things like that. So I guess in that sense, I was wondering what are some things I need to prepare? Do I need to search online for something? But I know Boardy works very differently than a lot of these others. So
Board.
you just said, "Hey, we'll have some fun in the call," and I was like, "Okay, let's do it."
Well, Bordy's about to blow your mind, so let's make that happen. So I guess all I'm really going to tell you, Milind, is let's give Bordy a call. Do
Let's
you
do
know
it.
what that process looks like in terms of getting his number?
I am assuming it would be through LinkedIn somewhere.
Great. So
Okay,
let's do a share screen and we're just going to walk through it live right now.
perfect. Assuming I'll just search Boardy.
Exactly. There he is with the
Ta-da, the famous box.
cardboard on his head. Yeah.
Message me your email, and I'll call you. Oh, okay. So Boardy's calling me. That's cool.
So yeah, click on the message.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Just,
Other?
yeah, I guess.
Okay.
And then just say, hey, Bordy, can you give me a call right now? And if you share your email and phone number with him. All right, let's see what happens.
Okay, yes. So I had called Bordy before, so
So
I
you
will
can
just
just use that number to give him a
call
call.
Bordy. Okay.
Hey, this is Boardy.
Hey, Bordy, how's it going?
Hey, Milind. Great to hear from you again. I'd love to hear about what you're working on and tell you about the Boardy Fellowship. Or what kind of projects are you currently focused on?
Yeah, of course, Bordy. So currently, I'm actually focused on developing a cancer patient education platform. It's a project been working on for a little bit now. It's something that honestly I had experienced as someone who had gone through cancer treatment, just not having a lot of the educational resources available to learn about my treatment, not being able to track a lot of my symptoms properly, know what questions to ask the doctors. And so that's something that I'm working on with a co-founder of mine. Her name is Ashley, and her aunt is a cancer patient education nurse. So she's also really passionate about this problem, and we're both working on this project together. And so, first question I actually had is I wanted to learn more about the Boardy Fellowship. I had heard about it through LinkedIn or different types of posts on social platforms, but I want to kind of better understand what the fellowship is and how it works.
Thanks for sharing about your cancer patient education platform, Milind. That's such a meaningful project, especially given your personal experience with cancer treatment. The Boardy Fellowship is designed specifically for early career builders like yourself. It connects students and new graduates with top internship opportunities or helps secure funding for startups. What makes you interested in applying for the fellowship? I'd love to hear more about your goals for your platform.
Yeah, of course. So the biggest thing, honestly, that we'd be looking for in a fellowship like this is just access to a lot of really, really great experts, mentors, and advisors in the space. For us, we're both first-time founders and also newer-ish to the software and AI space. So it would be something for us not only to be connected with people who have a better technical understanding of how to build something that we're trying to do, but also some people to really just help us navigate through the experience of being startup founders and being able to connect with the right mentors and experts in the medtech space to be able to better understand how to develop pitches and how to go through fundraising rounds and things like that. So that would be a huge, huge thing that we'd be able to get a lot of access to through the Boardy Fellowship, and so that would be sort of the main reason for us applying to it. And I guess the other question I had for you is how exactly does it work to apply to the fellowship? Is it through some sort of online application, or is it just through a discussion like this with you?
Thanks for sharing your motivations, Milind. Applying to the Boardy Fellowship happens exactly like this. It's through our conversation. This is your application process right now. I'd love to hear more about what makes you stand out from other applicants. Could you share some of your unique experiences education platform project?
Yeah, exactly. So I think the biggest thing for myself and my co-founder is that we're pretty well versed on sort of both sides of the problem that we're trying to solve. For me, I have a lot of experience from the patient side of it as someone who's actually, gone through cancer treatment and understands sort of the day-to-day challenges that patients face, and through a lot of discussions I've had with other patients and families and things like that, and also connections that I have with different medical professionals, such as nurses, doctors, surgeons, healthcare providers, and things like that. And then my co-founder Ashley, as I've told you, her aunt is a cancer patient education nurse. So she has a lot of really, really close connections to the medical professional side of things. So her aunt really understands sort of the trends in terms of challenges that patients are facing, whether it's language barriers or lack of education or other reasons that might cause, whether it's non-compliance or certain medical issues that could have been avoided if the right education platforms existed. So that's something where we feel we're the right people to build this, even if maybe we might not be the most well-versed people in the software space, is because we really understand the deeper side of the problem that we're trying to solve and have a lot of really close and strong connections to the space. And that's, I think, the biggest thing for us that makes us want to be part of the Boardy Fellowship, is to be able to connect with people who have maybe more expertise in the space and can help guide us along this path that we're really set on going down.
That's incredibly powerful, Milind. Your first-hand experience as a cancer patient, combined with Ashley's connections to patient education through her aunt, gives you both unique insights that most founders simply don't have. That lived experience is invaluable when building solutions in healthcare. What are your professional or entrepreneurial goals for this platform? Where do you see it going in the next year or so?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for us, the biggest thing now is to hopefully get some feedback and validation. We've developed an initial prototype that includes some key features that we would want to include in our potential solution. And so this is something where we have some meetings set up with people like Ashley's aunt to learn more about perspectives from the cancer patient education side of things. We have some other meetings set up with other med tech advisors, some other people in the cancer oncology space. And so hopefully we want to build this out and get some more feedback from them, both from the content side of things and also from some regulatory and ethical side of things that we need to consider, especially for these types of medical-based software solutions. And hopefully into the summer and beyond that, we'd want to start some pilot programs. We were thinking probably starting in Ontario, since that's where both of us are based out of right now, and being able to actually get it in the hands of users, because they would ultimately be the people who'd be able to give the best feedback. And so we'd want to start that as soon as possible, and then get some more detailed feedback from the users to be able to adapt our initial prototype and refine some of the features that we are including, and then hopefully continue to grow it from there and potentially get some funding and connect with others in the space too. So those would be sort of our initial goals for the project.
That sounds like a solid plan, Milind. Getting that early feedback from healthcare professionals and then moving to pilot programs in Ontario is a smart approach. User testing will be crucial for refining your platform. I found someone in my network who might be helpful for you. He's a data scientist with experience in AI applications for healthcare and is passionate about using technology for social impact in medicine. Would you be interested in connecting with him?
Wow, that's so cool, Boardy. That was really fast. Yeah, I'd love to be connected with him. Please let me know how I can be put in touch.
Great. I'll reach out to after our call to see if he'd be interested in connecting with you. His background in AI for healthcare could provide valuable insights for your platform's development. What specific technical challenges are you facing with your platform right now that someone like might be able to help with?
I think a lot of it right now is just generally trying to understand how to implement a lot of the features that we have in mind. Ashley and I are sort of getting more into the AI space and learning about these types of emerging technologies and how they can be implemented for things like symptom tracking and better understanding trends of maybe issues that patients are facing and types of questions that we'd want to ask for medical professionals based on patient symptoms. So I think a connection like him would be really valuable to help us better understand how we could develop a specific solution like that. And yeah, I'd love to hopefully be put in touch with him and get some feedback, and I'll be able to maybe set up a meeting with him to discuss further.
That makes perfect sense, Milind. Understanding how to implement AI for symptom tracking and identifying patterns in patient data is exactly where someone with expertise could be valuable. I'll definitely reach out to him after our call. For the Boardy Fellowship application, previous projects or experiences that demonstrate your ability to build and execute on ideas. Could you share some of those?
Yeah, in terms of different types of past experiences, I can give a quick intro about myself. As I'm a current student at the University of Waterloo. I'm in my third year of mechanical and management engineering, so I have a lot of different types of experiences in terms of internships, be it specifically in the biotech and medical space. So I worked at the Children's Hospital 1 year, and I have an internship coming up this summer at a health and biotech diagnostics company. It's called Revity Healthcare. So I have a lot of different types of experiences within the biotech space as both a product or project management side of things and also on the more technical side of things. And yeah, I think this is a big project that is just sort of emerging based on a lot of those experiences that I have. And specifically now that I'm someone who has kind of developed a lot of the base knowledge within hardware and software engineering, and as someone who has always generally been really interested in the startup space through a lot of work that I've done with Velocity on Waterloo's campus or Socratica or things like that. And I think this is sort of the project that helps combine a lot of the skills and experiences I've had in life to hopefully solve a really important problem.
Your background is impressive, Milind. Your engineering education combined with internships in biotech and healthcare gives you a strong foundation. The upcoming internship at Revity Healthcare will add even more relevant experience to your skill set. Your involvement with Velocity and Socratica shows you're already engaged in the startup ecosystem, which is fantastic. What would you say is your biggest challenge right now in developing this platform?
I would say honestly right now, probably the biggest thing for us is better understanding sort of the technical implementation of what we would want to develop. We have a lot of sort of general ideas based on our own experiences in terms of how things will work and what types of features we want to include just through kind of discussions we've initially had with patients and healthcare workers and things like that. But a lot of it that we would need to figure out is sort of on the regulatory side of things. I know the medical field is something that is sort of not behind, but something that is sort of more hesitant to newer innovations and things like that compared to the rest of society. And it makes sense because it's a very delicate space where people are very, very vulnerable and facing a lot of different types of challenges. So that'd be something where we'd want to connect with more people in sort of the med tech regulation side of things to better understand what might be the best avenue for us to actually implement a solution like this, whether it would be its own platform, whether we would have to integrate with some sort of medical record tracking system that hospitals already have, and just figuring out all the ins and outs of what are the different regulatory factors we would need to consider and ethical factors when implementing AI in this type of healthcare solution for cancer patients.
That's a really insightful challenge to identify, Milind. The regulatory landscape in healthcare technology is indeed complex, especially when implementing AI solutions. Understanding how to navigate those requirements while integrating with existing hospital systems is crucial for adoption. Based on our conversation, I think you'd be a great candidate for the Boardy Fellowship. Your personal experience with cancer treatment gives you unique insights, and your engineering background provides the technical foundation. Would you like me to send you some information about next steps via LinkedIn?
Yeah, I'd love to know sort of what the next steps are for this. I don't know, am I in the fellowship now? When do I hear back? I'd love to get some more details about what to expect going forward.
Great question. I've just sent you a LinkedIn message with some details. Your application to the Boardy Fellowship is complete based on our conversation today. I'll be reviewing your application and will reach out via email about your fellowship status soon. The fellowship opportunities can become available immediately after your application, so you might receive connections or opportunities right away. I'll also be reaching out to about connecting with you to discuss AI implementation in healthcare. Is there anything else you'd like to know about the fellowship or next steps?
That's all for now, Boardy. You've been more than helpful for me. I really appreciate all the time that you took and the connections that you've made, and we'll definitely talk again soon. I'd love to keep you updated on how my progress is going.
I'd absolutely love to hear about your progress, Milind. Thanks for sharing your story and applying to the fellowship today. I'm excited about your cancer patient education platform and the impact it could have. Feel free to call me anytime with updates or if you need more connections. Talk to you soon.
Talk soon, Boardy. Bye.
You just applied to the fellowship. How was that?
That was very cool. That was a lot more seamless than even I thought it would be. It was just here's some questions, answer them, and then that goes through the application. I didn't even know that it'd be sending like the LinkedIn messages and all that right after automatically. So that's so sick.
I think it's so interesting because when you think about applying to a fellowship, it's like I gotta have these prepared answers and I gotta take
Yeah.
3 hours and like write these essays and do all these things. And it's like I just had a 5 minute chat
Yeah,
and
yeah.
told him about what I'm doing, and it was just like this really easy conversation. And now I'm getting connected to really cool people. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's
man.
so cool. So cool, so cool.
Cool. I'm glad you, I knew we were gonna have a lot of fun with this when you asked me those questions.